There's something that's in my brain fundamentally that's wrong. That's like, if I wear Empire merch, it automatically means that I'm an Empire sympathizer. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for the support on my first video. It really meant the world to me. On my Instagram, I asked you guys a little while ago some questions that you have about me. If you haven't already, check out my Instagram. It's @_nerfherder7 and go ahead, give me a follow there. So I took screenshots of the questions I would love to answer today. So let's get into it. Number 1, do you remember the first Star Wars movie you watched? No. I'm assuming it's A New Hope. I'm assuming if my dad did it correctly. However, I was so young when I was first introduced to the Star Wars universe, I really don't remember it. The first movie that I can remember that I watched was The Force Awakens in theaters, and maybe that's why I have a tendency to enjoy the sequels more than other people. But yeah, that was such a cool time. Now this person says, which Star Wars character would you love to play? 𝗧𝗶𝗸. I don't know where it's possible. I don't know how it's possible, if it's in a fan project. If she is truly my favorite, I genuinely think that I am her. I think she was based off of me. I was based off of her. I don't really know which way it goes. I did grow up a theater kid. However, I wasn't a good one. I did my school shows and I very much enjoyed it. However, I was not getting any awards for my acting. Yeah, but if I could be in promotional stuff, if I could do a photo shoot as 𝗧𝗶𝗸, I don't know, like a short film, that, oh my god, I would die. I think I would be a little embarrassed if I had to watch me act in a short film, but I would completely not maybe say no if I was 𝗧𝗶𝗸 in a short film. This person asked, do you think that they should make a live action movie containing 𝗧𝗶𝗸? No. At least not canonly. I would not want to see 𝗧𝗶𝗸 fit in to the canon universe, the canon timeline, in a way that I don't think would do her justice. If they had like, surprise, twin, it really, I don't think would do a great job. That's why, leave it to the fans. There are so many fan projects that I think do a wonderful job retelling her story that I don't think I need to see her exist within a canon timeline. Oh, did I mention my microphone, guys? I have a microphone. I'm trying to test it out and see if I like the quality of phone microphone better or this microphone. I'm hoping it's this microphone so that I'll be able to record more, because there are currently lots of lawnmowers going since it's the summer, and so it's harder to try and find a place where I can get good sunlight but also no mowing. What's my favorite nerdy fandom thing? Definitely, I would say Star Wars is my most public, because obviously I have this account and I like to bring it up around people a lot. But other than that, what would I say? I am a gamer, or I have been a gamer. I haven't gamed recently, but I'm definitely very much like a low-key sort of. I do Minecraft, Animal Crossing, The Sims, Stardew Valley. If I find my screenshot of how many hours I've played The Sims, it is glitched. It is glitched, but I think it currently says I have 25,000 hours in in The Sims 4, because that's like 2 straight years. But other than that, like some movie things that I absolutely, hold on, like I can't perceive myself very well. So, and I also have the brain of Dory, so I have to like literally write down like my favorite things, because I tend to forget it if someone asks me. Meet the Robinsons. I think that counts as a nerdy thing, because I genuinely love Meet the Robinsons more than Star Wars. Maybe I'll get into it more, but I did my salutatorian speech, because fun fact, I was salutatorian of my little tiny high school, and I did my speech on the end quote. The shortened down quote is keep moving forward, But there's a quote by Walt Disney that inspired the motto for this movie, and I did my quote for that and related back to like graduating and all of that. My car is named Cornelius because because of Cornelius from the movie, because Lewis, his fancy name, his science name is Cornelius. I have the 15-year anniversary magic band that like there's only 200, 400 in circulation, which is pretty cool, if I don't say myself. So I can't really brag about it in the same way that I do Star Wars, but when I get to talk about it with someone, oh my god, am I gapping their ear off for like 3 years. So I think that's my biggest one, that I would say my nerdy fandom, even though there's no fandom. Although there is a concept musical that is currently in the works, which is really, really cool. I've talked to the actor playing Lewis, and he is just so passionate about this project that I have no worries. Favorite Star Wars ship? Okay. By vibes? Okay, famous ships, I would say the Marauder, which is the Bad Batch ship. I don't necessarily know if I like the design of it, but the vibe of it, the people who pilot it, I love. However, I think that I wanted to say, but I think if I wanted to just say, like, by looks alone, I really love the Gungan ships, like the underwater Gungan ships. I think they're so cool. Is it Gungan ships? Is that what I'm gonna be like, looks? Oh my god, I'm so right. The 𝗙𝗶𝗸 what? Yeah, the 𝗙𝗶𝗸 is my favorite ship. They just look like a manta ray. They look so natural. Actually, I can put a picture. They look so marine-like, aquatic life, that they really blend into the universe, which I like. I don't know. Maybe that's why I like Volkswagen. Maybe that's why I like Volkswagen Beetles, because they like look like a bug. Maybe, I don't know. Do they actually look like a bug, or is it because they're like Volkswagen Beetles and it's like this is what a car bug would look like, but they don't actually look like bugs? Like, if you picture a Volkswagen Beetle, is it a bug? Not like the essence of it. Is it actually like looks like a bug? I don't know. 𝗏𝗏 R2. Hot take, I think BB-8 is a watered down chopper. Sorry, I think BB-8, I love BB-8 still, but I think they wanted to give the personality of Chopper without introducing Chopper. What's my take on more political stories of Star Wars? I love it. Like the more Senate-focused episodes, I love it. I love it more, honestly, than the actual battles. I love seeing the dynamics of how their galaxy works. I think I like the trade federations way more than like an average person, because I like seeing that debate and it makes it feel much more real world to me. I love the episodes where we follow Padme and what she is doing in the Senate, and when she goes out to like planets, when she went out to the one that sticks out to me most is when she went out to the Separatist planet to be like, hey guys, can we chat about why you don't like, you know, our government and why you don't like the council right now? Can we chat about that? What could we fix that would make you guys like us more? And I love that. I love that. I didn't like how Anakin was all like, man, they're like bad guys. Why are you a bad guy? And it's like, you know, he sees all black and white, whereas she's just like a true Presbyterian who wants to keep the peace and genuinely wants to see peace within the galaxy, and her ego does not get in the way of listening to others who have a differing opinion from her and being able to have a conversation and not necessarily just talk at them and try and like bribe them to be on their side. Is like genuinely she wants to see a long-term impact of what she is doing. And I think her and her handmaidens are so incredible and their stories are so incredible, and I would love to follow them more. And I love those sort of political stories within Star Wars, because I think that's what makes Star Wars, and it feels grounded, and it's not just a bunch of like, you know, dudes with sticks fighting, you know? Like, there are so many other war movies where you can just see a bunch of people die and rah, good guys win on top again, you know, where that's not what compels me to watch Star Wars ever. It's the dynamics between planets and parties, and all of that is what makes Star Wars for me. So that's why I love Andor. I love Andor so much, because it shows another side of the rebellion and the little details inside of these smaller parties, you know? It's not at the Senate level in Andor. It is eventually at the end of Andor, but like starting, it's just these like small rebellion groups and smaller planet governments that are rebelling, and you get to see that, and you get to see the dynamics of how the Empire is affecting the smaller planets and the propaganda that goes into it, because it's not all just like, oh, Empire's bad, but we have to follow them. No, we are shown people who are Empire sympathizers and Empire supporters, because again, there are people who are selfish on the smaller level, and they get to see that, oh, I am doing well now, that must mean that it's because of the Empire. And I love that. I love seeing that. I love getting to see everyone's, I love seeing the grayness of Star Wars and how nothing is perfect. I love seeing people who don't believe in the Jedi and think the Jedi are, you know, false narratives of these people, because it is almost reminiscent of God in a sense, because people now believe, why is there a God and why hasn't he come to save us? Why is there famine? Why is there poverty? Why is there these things and God hasn't come down to save us? And that is what is keeping people from believing in God. And I'm not saying I'm not a true Christian in general, but I love seeing that then be portrayed in Star Wars, because I'm getting off on a tangent, because then people don't like the Jedi or are far enough from the Jedi, you know, timeline wise, they don't believe in the Jedi because the Jedi haven't come and saved them as a small, you know, country or as a small planet. And so they're like, what do the Jedi have to do with us? They're not the good guys. They haven't come and saved us. They're doing all of this stuff of fighting a war, and they're making more war for us. So why do we need to support the Jedi? I think the Empire is And so I think that's really cool. And obviously I can go more and more on a tangent about the politics and the dynamics. It's not even just the politics. It's I keep saying the word dynamics. It's everything to do with Star Wars. That's not just about the war in Star Wars. I love seeing the other stuff in Star Wars that's not just war. So yeah, that's my take. How high are your hopes for the Mando and Grogu movie? Well, unfortunately, I did get to this late, so I did watch it and it was amazing. I would say it was such a fun movie, and I know people are making it a joke that people, it's a fun movie, because it genuinely was. If you're going into it thinking it's gonna be like, you know, Oppenheimer, and it's gonna have this like it's about little Grogu. You really think Mandalorian and Grogu, it's not gonna be Grogu? Like, come on, man. It's gonna be this fun, campy movie that, honestly, I think it should have been a movie. I don't think it should have been a season 4. You know why? It's because it got everyone together. Everyone who loves Star Wars got to dress up for it, got to talk about it. The culture around this movie is what makes it a good movie. You know, there hasn't been a Star Wars movie in 7 years. I think being able to see a Star Wars movie on the big screen should never be taken for granted. I genuinely love the hype that people get around Star Wars, and the people who are brought back into Star Wars because they hear that there's gonna be a Star Wars movie in theaters. I think I'm more focused on how it made me feel, and it made me feel so incredibly happy and so grateful that I get to experience it with my father and with my family. And then I get to talk about it and rave about it and dress up for it and send things to my friends that I haven't spoken to in years, because they also enjoy Star Wars, and so I know that I'm able to reach out to them and get their opinion on it, and I love that feeling. That is truly, I think, what the Star Wars fandom needs right now. I don't know. My favorite 𝗙𝗶𝗸. Oh, my favorite Star Wars creature and 𝗙𝗶𝗸. My favorite Star Wars creature is Morai. I love a condor. They are so special to me. I wish we could see more normal condors, that it wouldn't just be Morai, because obviously Morai is so tied to Ahsoka that I don't think we would see Morai anywhere else. But we can see normal condors, okay? They can be like the new porg. They can be the new porg. Please be the new porg. Please be the new porg. But yeah, I love a condor. My favorite 𝗙𝗶𝗸 is Greeta. Greeta, I think, is my girl. Ula is my girl. Like, these divas, they're not 𝗙𝗶𝗸s in my mind. I don't know why they would be put in as a 𝗙𝗶𝗸. Prequels, OG, or sequels? OG, all the way, baby. I am an original trilogy fan. That's all I'm gonna say about that. What's the biggest moral conundrum in the Star Wars universe, and what side are you on? What's the biggest moral conundrum is crazy. Maybe the Jedi taking younglings so young and like severing their connection with their family. I think that, I mean, first off, I've never ever thought about this before, so this will be a brain dump in my brain, but in my mouth, in my head, I don't know. But I think might be the one that I care about the most, because as much as I can say I am an Empire hater, and if you are an Empire supporter, I don't know how, whatever. But I can also acknowledge that the Jedi are so flawed, and I think their biggest, other than the corruption within the Jedi, I think the biggest problem fundamentally with the Jedi that are like written into like Jedi scripture is how they go about finding Jedi and younglings, and I would say they need to change that. I don't think I'm gonna try and get so deep with it. I think, yeah, you can make a case for Anakin, and I mean, like, they try and put guidelines around like the age where like you can kind of say that, oh, they're so young that they don't even know who their family is, they're not gonna remember, blah 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 blah. Like, there are obvious, in the real world, not in Star Wars, because obviously we don't know Star Wars, like, it's obviously been known that like the minute that they touch you, they know who their mother is, you know? And I don't know a lot, but I think it's wrong for the Jedi to be like, but do they remember? They remember the trauma of it, and that's not okay. That's my take on it. If I could have any outfit from Star Wars, which would I immediately pick? I know the exact one. It's a concept art of this Padme outfit that's a poncho, then turns into 𝗷𝗷 𝗠𝐶I's outfit, and I absolutely love that one. My brain immediately goes to that one. I would also say let's go on my Pinterest. You can also follow my Pinterest here. I think I have like 8 followers, so if you want to be cool and popular, follow a blooming star, follow my Pinterest. I don't know. Also, the daughter's outfit, I mean, that just slays. I don't know if I could ever wear it. That will never, I mean, that could be a cosplay that I do, but like, I think I have to go through my second puberty before I hit that. Like, I have to be 25, 26, you know? That body, ooh, is incredible. And I love the daughter, and I love her outfit in that. Also, 𝗧𝗶𝗸 𝗧𝗶𝗸, I don't know, people pronounce it differently, and I say 𝗧𝗶𝗸, but I think it's 𝗧𝗶𝗸 or something. But her outfit too, with the helmet, I mean, I have her helmet somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, I have her outfit. And I have her little Lego helmet version. Ugh. This Leia, yeah, she absolutely slays. So those are a couple outfits, not just one. That's my dream job. My dream job is working for Disney. Yes, I know, so cliche. But I think what makes my niche is I would love to work in the land pavilion in Disney, in Epcot, in their greenhouse as a horticulturalist. I talked a little bit about this in a post that I've been going to school for horticulture, and I love plants. I love the science behind plants, and specifically the alternative methods to farming that hopefully will be researched and developed more in the future, like vertical farming, like hydroponics. I think they're so incredible, and I think that they could really bring a lot more fresh produce to urban cities and food deserts that necessarily don't have a lot of room to grow produce, or don't have good soil, don't have the proper soil, don't have the proper growing environments. I think greenhouses, vertical farming, hydroponics can fix that if we are given more room to research and develop. And which is nice about Disney, they are obviously a multi-billion-dollar company, and so their greenhouse production isn't for production, it's for research. Natural pesticides and growing methods, obviously you can see in Living with the Land, the boat ride. You can learn about aquaculture and vertical farming and all of their cool developments with that. And backstage they are doing a lot more research that isn't as cool, but is cool to me. And so I would love to work there and be able to be a part of that. Any advice on growing a following on Instagram? Don't show your boobs. Coming from Zach, I don't think that's your issue. So I think just building an authentic audience instead of these people who I see a lot of reels and trial reels of saying, I'm gonna follow the next 100 people that follow me. You're gonna gain so many just like bot accounts and people who are just follow for follow, people who are not interacting with your content. And so you can have a really, really high follower count, but your interactions are so low, your engagement rates are so low because they're not actually seeing anything because they're following hundreds of people a day. They're eventually going to probably unfollow you because they're like, who is this? So I would say, even if it's slower, gain that authentic base. Don't beg for followers. Don't try and fall into those traps of, I just need 300 more people to get me to 2,000 followers. Can I do it in a day? Once you hit 2,000, everyone's gonna unfollow you. Every single one of those 300 people are gonna unfollow you because they just wanted to see you hit that milestone, and then they don't care about your content. Make engaging content. I would say don't rage bait. I mean, I don't like rage baiting. I take things very personal, and so rage baiting does not work for me. It might work for you, but if you really want to gain like a nice audience and a nice community, ask a lot of questions, ask a lot of like open-ended things of like, things that people can relate with, and so they might repost, they might comment. Ask, oh my god, if you want comic recommendations, ask that. Make a video and say, hey, I need more comic recommendations. These are 3 that I like. From these 3, can you give me some? And people love stating their opinions on social media, and so if you are able to do that. Also, making a series that people can check in is more likely to get you followers and more likely to boost your content because people want to see that series. Now, you don't want to bombard them by posting like 2 times a day of the same series, but if you just have something that can closely be related to, like I first did a face painting series where I just did like quick little face paints, and then you can do and then I did like blind box opening series where that is all the rage right now. People love gambling that way, of just like virtually watching you gamble your money away in the little blind box that you want. So yeah, so those are the things that I personally would suggest. Don't rush it. Ask for people's opinions because I love giving them, and start a series. Favorite Star Wars song, I would say The Throne Room. There might be others that like I enjoy on a day-to-day basis, maybe more, but the Throne Room song, and parentheses, I think end credits, will forever get me going. It not only reminds me of Star Wars because it's like, you know, the ending of the first one, and there's so much hope. Like somehow I get transported back in time where that is the only Star Wars movie that is made, and that is the only time that it happens, is the end of episode 4. At the end of episode 4, where they're walking in and then they get their medals, I'm like, oh my god, I wonder what's gonna happen next. And I'm like left in this delusional state of like, that was such a good movie, like, and I'm not like, and this is gonna happen. Like if I'm watching the prequels, I'm sobbing at episode 1, Phantom Menace, because of what's gonna happen to Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, like that I cannot separate. However, something about A New Hope I'm able to separate from the rest of Star Wars, and so that feeling to me is so special with the throne room scene, because I'm like, they are so happy, they are so young, they are so innocent. We don't know anything practically about this universe still, even though we know so much, but it's just that like newness to Star Wars that I love, that ends A New Hope. And so yeah, and also the throne room song, parentheses, end credits, is also in Star Tours. It's what ends the ride in Star Tours, and so it's the exit cue music. And oh my god, I think I have more memories of writing Star Tours at a young age than watching Star Wars, and so I think that's why I also really like it, because it's nostalgic in that way, and it connects to the parks. And I love Star Tours. It's my favorite ride. I could ride Star Tours over and over and over and over and over and over and over again and never be bored. There's something about that movie, or there's something about that ride too, that just fills me with joy. And it's like, oh my god, like I don't even know how to describe it. It's again that like feeling of I'm at Disney. There's so many more days left in the park, and it's early in the day or whatever, and I don't know, I just love Star Tours. Do I like the Beatles? Yes, I do love the Beatles. I am a Beach Boys fan more. I would say Beach Boys are like top 3 bands for me, but I would also like to say Beatles are really good. I love Penny Lane, obviously, my name. But my favorite song is Strawberry Fields. I love it. What lightsaber color would I be? I think I would definitely be an orange or a yellow. Probably yellow more than orange, because orange tends to lead, like, I know canon-wise there's like not really meanings to them, but like legends-wise there's meanings, and so I'm gonna go with legends and the meanings because I love the meanings. Orange tends to lean more dark side and like anger and passion, and that's not necessarily what I like. I like yellow, which is more, you know, Presbyterian peacefulness, something like that. Like, hold on. Yeah. Okay, so orange is a deep connection to the force, but will never partake in combat unless truly necessary. Force user who, and then yellow is a force user who's focused less on the force and more on other traits such as scholarly pursuits or practical skills, often symbol of a sentinel. Yes, and I think that would be me. I mean, genuinely, like, I don't think I would be a Jedi in the Star Wars universe. I can go on that rant some other time of who I think I would be, because it's not anyone that you're expecting. It's been so hard just because I'm not a fighter and I'm just like so scared, and I love a comfortable life. However, I do want to like be a part of Star Wars, so I've thought in so much detail of like what era I would be from and what I would be and what would be my traits and what species I would be. Like, I've come up with all of that, and I would love to honestly get more into that in like another video. So yeah. So it'd definitely be between orange and yellow of I would never participate in combat unless necessary, but I would also not really be focused in the force, so I think yellow would necessarily be me. Maybe I'd be a little Jedi guard, temple guard. Top 10 lightsaber hilts. Ooh, top 10? I think I could do top 5, because top 10, then you start getting like really like, ooh, you know? Because that's like, there are so many good ones. However, top 5 I can definitely do. Number 1, I hate to say this, as an Empire hater, to my core, I don't think I could wear Empire merch. Like, that's how serious I am about the dark side and the Empire. There's something that's in my brain fundamentally that's wrong. That's like, if I wear Empire merch, it automatically means that I'm an Empire sympathizer and not just like for the aesthetic. And that means that I'm a horrible person and I should die. So I understand that other people, like, I can see other people wear dark side merch and I'm like, period, you ate it up. And I understand they're not an Empire sympathizer, obviously. But for me, like, I don't think I could wear Darth Vader's like face on a t-shirt. that's how serious it is for me. But the one exception is Emperor Palpatine's lightsaber. Palpatine's lightsaber is so cool. I'll like show the hilt. It's got this like pearl element to it and like this like light gold, and like it's just so sleek that I love, that I absolutely love it. Which is really funny because I feel like I'm more of a like nature side of lightsaber making and like lightsaber, like for me personally, but like for some reason his lightsaber is just so perfect. It's like so sleek and chic, where I'm not a very chic person. I'm very whimsy. I feel like it wouldn't fit me, but like it's my favorite. I absolutely love his lightsaber. Number 2 is Leia's. Obviously I have to go Leia, then I have to go Luke. Leia and Luke's, honestly they could be 2, like 2A, 2B. I think their lightsabers together honestly make it better for me, because I just love seeing the symmetry between their lightsabers. I love seeing their symmetry. So yeah, but I would say Leia's is prettier than Luke's in my mind. I think I have to say Ahsoka's unique. Like, what, it's like her and Ventress that have these such cool like katana like curve sabers that I don't know, I think are so cool. But I do like Ahsoka's more than Ventress, but I think whatever. And then for 5, ooh, who would I go with? Ezra's. I think Ezra's original one, the blaster hilt, so cool. The blaster hilt is so cool, and I would say like maybe that's 5. So Palpatine, Leia, Luke, Ahsoka, Ezra. That's mine. Top 5. After that, it starts getting muddled, and I have to like start really thinking about it, and I can't do that. Ooh, if I could adapt any legend story into canon, what would I pick? Abeloth. Abeloth, Mortis gods, more Mortis gods, more Mortis gods, more Mortis gods, more Mortis gods, please. Please, 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 please. That's it. That's all I have to say. What changes to Star Wars lore would I do to make it better? Have it have a happy ending, like the first time. But then it would ruin the Star Wars series. So I genuinely don't think I could fix it. Like, I can't fix it. Not like fix it and like it's bad. I wouldn't be able to make it better though. It's too good already. Did I ever build my own lightsaber? No. Although I watched my dad and my brother do it. I don't know. I think I would like better quality for that price. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I loved experiencing it for them, and I loved experiencing it. But I don't know. I would rather get a Neo saber. Sorry. But I loved experiencing it. I do want to do the droid building. I haven't done the droid building, and I definitely want to do the droid building. Who's my favorite Star Wars couple? That's really hard. That's really, really hard. I want to say Han and Leia. Like, they're my guilty pleasure couple because I know their flaws. And I made a rant to my story about it a couple of days ago, but they're my guilty pleasure because I have the same criticism, not the same. I'm a little bit of a hypocrite when it comes to ignoring all of their red flags compared to Anakin and Padme, because I'm such a harsh critic when it comes to them, and I don't like them, and I like teenage love. They wouldn't last in the real world. Like, their ideals, their morals are so different. Like, I don't know. I don't like them, and I don't like them together. However, I ignore all of Han and Leia's differences and the fact that they literally split up. And I ignore all of that because somehow they're different in my mind. Oh, you know who it is? 𝗙𝗓 𝗧𝗏. I love 𝗙𝗓 so much. I don't know. There's something about him leaving the clones and like having to like live this nomad life, you know, in secret with her, and they do it because of their love and how strong their love is that they would rather just like live on this deserted planet. Top tier, top tier. One Star Wars character to date for one night, who would I choose? Leia. I think she would wine and dine me. She would have the pants in the relationship, and she would put all the moves on me, and I would fall for it. If there was a Star Wars What If series, what would I want to see? What if Qui-Gon lived? I think that would be a really interesting one. My top one. I think about Qui-Gon all the time and like what his thoughts were. I had an older video like last fall I mentioned. I was like, what were Qui-Gon's thoughts as a dead person through the whole entire time? Because they're like, you know, he brought in this child, said F it to the council, died, and then it's his, you know, his protege had to then go and teach him, and then all of a sudden he becomes this mass murderer, and you're like, he was actually the downfall. I should have listened to you. And then like, what, 16 years later? 18 years? 16 years later, all of a sudden his two children are now going to fight him, and then all of a sudden he sacrifices himself to then defeat the Empire. Go Qui-Gon, you know? But then it's like also, you know, Yoda dies before all of that, you know? Obi-Wan dies before all of that. And so like, what if, like, I want to see Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon reunite, because I know Obi-Wan has some choice words. I know he does. And so that would be really wonderful to see. So yeah, I want to see more about Qui-Gon. Or what if Dooku never left the Jedi? I feel like that could be a really good one, because then, you know, Darth Sidious wouldn't have his right-hand man to like control the Separatists. I mean, I'm sure he could get around it, but like, it'd be really cool to see those differences. How did I get into social media? I really didn't mean to. I kind of fell into it. Around 2021, I started posting a bunch of like shifting content, and I gained a little bit of a following, like 2,000 followers, and then I kind of stopped. But then I started posting again, just like a normal TikTok, and I wasn't it was just my friends that were commenting, and it was just like little OTDs or like songs that I liked or whatever, like normal posting. And then all of a sudden I started posting Star Wars and I gained a following, and I've always wanted to be a content creator. You know, for a while it was a YouTuber, and then during like quarantine I dreamed of being like a Disney college program vlogger because I love Emily Enchanted. And then I found like Magic with Meg and saw that she was doing all of this like nerdy Star Wars stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I could do that too. And so I never acted on it until one day I posted like the Star Wars thing that like didn't blow up, but it gained more traction than I was used to, and I was like, this is my time. And so I started posting again, took a little break, and then this year, 2026, I have been taking it much more seriously than I've ever had in the past. I started making, you know, I changed my user to something like recognizable, like nerfherder, so that I could have like a brand name that's, I don't know, fun and cool, while also not being just like boring old first name, last name, you know? And so actually I do have to thank my friend 𝗏𝗏. She actually doesn't know this. But her name kind of inspired it, because I was like, oh, like I loved her name. Like 𝗏𝗏 is such a great user. And so I was like, what could I do that's like sort of like that like what I love, whatever. And then like I think it was one day where I was just like saying scruffy, you know, scruffy looking nerfherder. I was like, that's one of my favorite quotes, is scruffy looking nerfherder. I think Han is the best quoter. I don't even know. Like he gives the best quotes in all of Star Wars, I want to say. Like other than like, I don't know, like there's some droids that are really funny. However, I think he's like, I quote him all the time. Although this was Leia, but Leia saying it to him is scruffy looking nerfherder, and I said, who's scruffy looking? And I kept repeating, who's scruffy looking? But then I was like, nerfherder. And so then that's how, and I was like, oh, like 𝗏𝗏 nerfherder. I was like, oh, that has like a nice ring to it. And then the 7, nerfherder wasn't available. nerfherder wasn't available, so I went with nerfherder 7. And here we are. Honestly, because Emily Enchanted, her user on Instagram is EmilyNels8. So I was like, let me just do 7. So I did 7. And so yeah, that's how like my user was made. And then I wanted like a certain profile picture that like really represents me, and so I had one for a while and sort of like came up with like branding things of like, what could I be known for in the Star Wars universe that's like sort of niche. You know, 𝗏𝗏 has her tauntauns, and so people like to mention her in a lot of tauntaun things that then get her views and clicks, which is like, I don't think what she obviously intended to do. Like she grew up loving tauntauns, it wasn't like, but like that was my brain. Like I definitely do, to be honest, take it more seriously and more with a content mind than I think I share online and what a lot of people share. And so yeah, like Jaina Solo, like people now mention me or tag me in Jaina Solo edits or Jaina Solo mentioned or whatever. Ewoks are another thing. Morai. What other things that I've been tagged in recently? I don't know, but like people like to like send me things and they think of me with a certain thing. And that's what I wanted to get into people's heads, was they think of me when they see something with Star Wars, so that I'm not forgettable, you know? So I don't know. I think maybe that's a little like content brainy, but like I wanted to be noticeable, you know? I didn't want to be forgettable. And so yeah, I've been taking it way more seriously, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's it. And I'm still posting authentically me, and I'm posting a lot of things that I love. It's just those extra things of like in the caption, I'll tag like the brands that I'm wearing, so just in case they see it and then they're like, oh, this girl's good. You know, this, I like her, like, let me send her an email of, like, a brand thing, you know? Let me send her some PR. Because obviously she wears us. But it's still something that I would post normally. It's just I tagged people. And don't be embarrassed about tagging people. If you go through like people who have even like 1,000 followers that are trying to make it, they will be tagging brands that they love and that they are using in the videos, so that then the brands notice them. Now, don't give free promo. Don't be like, this thing from Lululemon is so amazing and bah, 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 bah. Like, don't be doing that. But if you're wearing Lululemon leggings in the post, click a little tag, you know? So I think that's it though. Where do I get all my cute fits? A lot of it is from Urban. I love Urban, specifically 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹, that brand. I would say a lot of my closet is Urban, Altered State. I would say, what else? Addicted, a little bit. Like a lot of my shorts are from Addicted, 𝗏𝐻𝑠𝑎𝑛. My shorts are I am getting some more, hopefully, shorts for my birthday from 𝗏𝐻𝑠𝑎𝑛 because I love 𝗏𝐻𝑠𝑎𝑛 shorts. But yeah, those are the clothing brands that I go to. Normally it's 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹. I love me some 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹. And then accessories, a lot on Amazon. A lot of my accessories are just Amazon. So I think that's it. I think that wraps up everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know how long this will be. And let me know if the mic quality is good, if you guys want me to go back. I'm also doing it through my back camera instead of my front camera, so I think you're getting a wider angle of my room, and I don't know how the lighting is. This is still, you know, in the works, but thank you guys for asking the questions, and if you haven't already, go follow me on Instagram and TikTok at _nerfherder7. Drop a comment below, give me a like, give me a follow. That would be greatly appreciated, as I am a new channel, and literally all the interaction makes the algorithm think that I'm actually worth watching. Thank you guys so much. Bye bye.